Hello, everybody. Happy December 5th. I'm a couple days late in my December 2025 forecast, but that's okay. We still have 26 days left of the month to soak in these really lovely energies this month. And I wanted to just kind of give us an overview of what's going on this month and help us have a sense of to, why what we're preparing for. As you know, 2025 is a universal number nine month, and number nine in astrology is a sign of transition and completion and initiation through release. So this whole year is a year of culmination. It's a year of supporting us in spiritual maturity. It's a year of letting go as well. And because the number nine is the final single digit in numerology, it carries this sense of completion. It carries this sense of the end of a cycle. And that's just the essence of this entire year. And now here we are at the last month of the number nine year. So there's an extra ordinary sense of the number nine-ness, the completing of this year. So that's really gonna the theme this year is, and it's gonna be extra potent right now. It's, true power comes from within. It's not an external thing. And really the idea of being willing to let go is also gonna help us move in more efficient ways. And if we add the number nine to what December, which is a number 12 month, the number 12 with 2025, um, reduces to the number 12. And the number 12 is an interesting symbolism. I want to, it also reduces to the number three. We'll get to that in a second, but I'm going to put an image up of this particular tarot card. This is the number 12 card in tarot, and tarot is actually linked to astrology. I won't get into that right now, but that's the Hanged Man if you have a look at that image. And so the Hanged Man is all about surrender and reversal and, sacred suspension. And, it's interesting because I was talking in the podcast about how this full moon that took place yesterday on the 4th was really about being in the birth canal. The baby is knows it's on its way to somewhere, but it doesn't actually know where it's going yet. And this card is the Hanging Man is that same energy. It's like a preborn infant in the womb, and it's reversing itself to prepare for passage out of the state of, you know, suspended. So you're suspended, but you're moving from one world into the next. That is the energy of this month. And this is inviting us to look at the possibility that there will be times when, would be well served to look at things from a different perspective. And I would offer that maybe even the bird's eye view, the eagle perspective that I mentioned in the podcast. And it's really important to note that if we think about the Hanged Man, that card is not a punishment. People find it very scary, like the Tower card or the Death card. This is about surrender, and it's the archetype of sacred pause and consciously releasing. And it represents this energy, this moment in time, this month in time, when forward momentum ceases so that the deeper truth can be seen, different perspective. So it really kind of means that if any things aren't really picking up speed super fast, that there's some kind of a deeper truth that's there for us to really look at. And some of the questions that we might think about this month is, can we carve out more space for stillness? Can we carve out more space for meditation, excuse me, and energetic awareness? And, how can we look at things, something that feels very entrenched? How can we look at it differently? And how can we attempt to look at it differently in a way that feels expansive and in a way that feels lighter? Also, it's okay, what are we waiting for clarity on? And to embrace the pause, to to notice how we might be feeling on hold, and also to see if we can let go of any desired outcome and just relax. So that's kind of the energy of the number 12, the energy of the 12th month in this number nine year. But number 12 also reduces to three. So it's important to look at the root of what that means too. And three is about communication, three is about creativity, life force. And so this is the point. This is kind of, I guess, where it gets to it's going to be time for us to get clear on our communications and express our true authentic truth. And it's going to instinctively help us to find some optimism and some authentic joy in the act of just simply being who we are and being somewhere in a particular moment in time. So that's the overview of this month. But there's a couple other things that are going on here. I mentioned the full moon that took place yesterday. And there's also the new moon, which is going to take place on the 20th. So the full moon, the great attractor was the kind of one of the highlights of the show. And the new moon has an even bigger star that I'm super excited to give you a sneak peek on, the galactic center. And we are in Sagittarius season for the first 3 months of December. And the galactic center is where Sagittarius, the archer, is pointing his arrow at, reminding us where we came from, reminding us that we are star stuff, reminding us that there's so much more than this physical reality that we often feel stuck in. So that new moon is going to be very potent. And then the very next day, we have the 21st, which is solstice, which is it's a tipping point. It's a time of the most light or the most dark. And it's a time where we go from feeling one sense of energetic to another. It's a time when the seed turns itself around to root itself down. We're talking about that symbolism of a reversal of perspective to prepare for something. That's the entirety of this month. We also have on the 12th of December, we have Neptune stationing direct. And as you know, all outer planets are changing signs in 2025, and they're really going to be permanently there in 2026. So we're still in this kind of nebulous fog, as it were, where things aren't quite showing themselves as quickly as we may like. But on the 12th of December, Saturn and Neptune are both going to be direct, and they're going to be at 29 degrees of Pisces. And now 29 degrees of Pisces, as you may know, is the anaretic degree of the sign of Pisces, but Pisces itself is the last sign of the zodiac. So it's the last sign of the entire wheel of the zodiac. And there's something really profound and transcendent about that degree. And it's about this kind of ultimate energetic, you could call it spiritual realization. It's about a major transition, but it's about a realization because we're being invited to Pisces wants us to take all the wisdom of all the lessons that we've learned and to realize that anything that may have been challenging is really um has served its purpose. And so that energy is going to be a big one in this month. And the stationing direct is when a planet gets very loud, as I mentioned, energetically. And that's hearkening to what's going to be happening in February 2026. And what's going to be happening there is we have finally, because Saturn and Neptune have been doing this they're conjunct, they're close, but they're not exact. In February next year, they're meeting at their exact conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries, which is an entirely different energetic than 29 degrees of Pisces. And that's all about that new beginning. And if we remember that 2025 is the year of the water snake, and 2026, I'll do a video on this at some point, is the year of the fire horse. Water snake is about emotional intelligence. It's about going deep into our depths. It's about being sensitive, and it's about shedding. It's about being willing to release what doesn't serve us. The fire horse year is about moving ahead, and it's about having that fire within our soul. And Aries itself is a fire sign. So I hope you can sense it. This is about what we can best do in December is be in our stillness and be with the energy and be present. But also with that number three, to be joyful when we authentically find something that we really feel like being joyful about. So I hope that you find this helpful. I hope that you have a fabulous month. As I'm recording this, we have two more gatherings of the Lunar Herbal Alchemy Intensive. I'm doing a 4-week series to support us in remembering the magic of the stars, remembering the magic and the wisdom of the plant kingdom, and also embracing energetic healing and clearing and ritual in charging up our actions and purposefully co-creating a life that we want with all the energies of the universe. So if you haven't been able to join me for that, make sure you're on my email list. That's how I'm communicating with everybody. I'll put a link so you can find that out. And yeah, have a beautiful, wonderful December. I'll talk to you soon.